Commission meeting. We would like to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay, sure. The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
Agenda, but I believe it needs amended tonight. Lena?
To item 8D.
Second?
I can explain. I put this on the agenda. I thought that the agreement was settled between it's during Island Fest where GISA soccer, the Island
With not being kept up to date with the
discrepancies in the agreement this year. It is not the same as it was last year. So both community groups are working together. The presidents of each club are talking, and we want to get that worked out before we vote on that. So we're still in discussion. So that's where we're at.
So we move to approve the agenda then, the way it is?
No, I thought you wanted to change it.
Amended?
I thought you wanted to change A.
No, we're going to let them do the presentation. He's going to do the presentation, then we'll have discussion about it. Well, he said 8A also.
The motion.
Correct.
Correct.
A, didn't we want to change that?
Just to table it till next month, but since it's all out there.
So 8A was just going to be discussion, no vote is my change.
Okay. So that's two changes. And then delete D.
Two separate motions.
So I need to make two separate motions for that.
Yes.
All right, so we got the one to remove 8D. Elena put the motion. Greg second.
Right.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. The meeting minutes from November, did everybody get to take a look at them? There's some here if you still need to look at them. So I'm going to need a motion to accept the November 17th minutes?
Motion
November
approved.
16th minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Public comments limited to agenda items only.
Yeah.
State your name and your address.
Kevin Naso, Stout Avenue, Grosse Hill president. As Kim mentioned, you tabled the one discussion, but we're talking with Gyra to finalize the agreement for the Island Fest. Some monetary issues we're concerned about where we don't feel we should necessarily have to pay to use the fields. So that's some of the discussion topics we're working through now. Hopefully we'll have it done this weekend. I'm going to meet with Joe and then get it signed and over to Kim for review. But that's where we stand right now. Okay?
Kevin, are there agendas sitting up there too?
No,
There's not.
no.
I did 15 of them. All right. Anybody else? All right. My report. I'm glad that everybody's here at 7 p.m. on Thursdays now. We meet the fourth Thursday of every month. I have a couple announcements about events, but I will wait to get to those. And I'm going to turn it over to Miss O'Farrell because she's going to update you on a lot of things. Director?
Good evening. I'm going to go over my monthly report. All of you have a copy of that in front of you, but I would also like to share with the community what's happening. And I usually go down through each area that recreation is responsible for. Obviously, Water's Edge Pool is still closed. We all want it open, so hopefully we'll have some good weather this summer. The marina, the summer contracts have been mailed. So for those that had were vendors last year and had slips last year, your contract has been mailed to you. Centennial Farm, the ADA access doors, we will have ADA doors by next week. They're going to be finishing that, so that's a nice amenity for anyone to get in and out of the farm. That was through grant dollars, and I presented that all back in November to all of you. So that project's going to be complete next week. The new tables and chairs have arrived. Those arrived in December. And again, we didn't have a December meeting, so kind of going through 2 months here. The seniors that are out there, all our users are very happy with the new tables and chairs. They're very comfortable. So, and again, that was purchased with grant money. There was no money out of the budget for those 2 items. And always, if you're looking for a rental, call Water's Edge. We have a beautiful place out there. It seats 150 people. Keep us in mind if you'd like to do a bridal shower, a wedding. The farm is beautiful, and we do have those updated tables and chairs for everybody. Golf, we're starting to get ready. It's a little early, so just when you're starting to think about what Water's Edge is about, you know, we do have the golf course, we have the swimming pool, we have the marina, we've got the parks. And what I'm reaching out right now, we are taking leagues. I'm not sure if Water's Edge has done that in the past, but people are actually contacting us now to form their own league. They love the 9-hole course. It's simple. It's easy to play. We have a lot of seniors, a lot of kids on that. So if you are interested in forming a league, give me a call directly. I will help you get that set up. Sunrise Park, Mr. Riem, our township manager, and myself will be meeting with the Historical Society on Monday morning to finalize the shared parking agreement. I brought this to the commission. I believe we had a little conversation about it back in November. But what we're looking to do is a lot of people are going to be using Sunrise Park. We have the kayaks launch there. It's a heavily used park, and there's nowhere to park except on the street. So we are working with the Historical Society on a shared parking agreement. So that's a good thing. So people can park over there and then go down and use the park. So that's another positive. Moving on with the community rink, we've had ice a lot, and the rink has been used a lot. I don't have how many days, but we've probably had at least 3 weeks of ice periodically over the last month and a half. So I've been out there shoveling, scraping, trying to maintain that. So, and people are using it, which is great. With that, I do want to thank a couple of people. I've mentioned over and over, even at township board meetings, we're doing community rink sponsorships, and I did receive some. I want to thank E.W. Smith, Tim Lorraine for his donation, C.E. Rains Company, and the Public Service Credit Union. They sponsored the rink. Banners are done, and they will be going up on the rink. So I just wanted to give them a shout out tonight and say thank you. And again, if you're interested in sponsoring the rink, the forms are online. They're on GI Connect, our website, or just stop into Water's Edge and come talk to me, and I'll show you the form. Upcoming events.
You know, they need to change that.
Okay, Winterfest. Chad, do you want to talk a little bit about this one?
It's Saturday, February 24th from 4 to 7 p.m. We are going to have a chili cook-off. There is, you can bring the chili. There's no charge to enter your chili for the contest. There is a $1 fee to go through the line and vote on your favorite. Each time you want to make a vote, it's $1 to vote for your favorite chili. We're going to have a recreational fire out there. bonfire, recreational fire. Weather permitting, ice skating. If not, we're gonna like throw mud balls or have mud skating or something. I don't know, but hopefully ice skating with snow sports such as snowman contest. All kinds of fun things. This is the first annual Winterfest. We really need something in the middle of winter for the community and people to look forward to. And if there's one thing I know, it's to throw a festival. So we should be really excited about this Winterfest. We have a couple.
We added the DJ. We will have.
Oh yeah, right. We have a DJ too, and it's not me. It's So we have a DJ. There's going to be a few community groups, such as Bake Sale. Another group is doing hot chocolate. Some are complimentary. Some have small charges for them. But the event itself is free. So we want to see everybody down there Saturday, February 24th. It starts at 4 o'clock. It's going to be a lot of fun. And when it gets dark out, that place is going to come alive with lights and stuff. So.
Cook-off form, and again, you can find that at Water's Edge online on our website or also on GI Connect. So we have nobody signed up for the chili cook-off yet. It's free to be in the chili cook-off. This is free. So if you've got a chili recipe and you want to be the chili king of Grosse Ile or queen, we need some participation. This is a fun thing.
I remember going to a chili cook-off when at one of the restaurants just a few years back, and it was a huge success. So we really would like for the community to step up and get some chili. I know Helena's always bringing our awesome treats here. You make chili? Do you make a good chili? There you go. Leah?
Elena's in.
Alicia? Yeah. All right.
A few more. The daddy-daughter dinner dance scheduled for February 2nd is sold out. We are full capacity. So thank you for those that registered, and I apologize that we do not have bigger spaces to host these types of events. So, but that's going to be a good time on the 2nd of February. Other recreation programs going on: tennis after school program for kids, karate. All of these start early February. So think about what you're doing with your kids. Get them out of the house, come to the rec, and sign up for these programs. The next senior holiday or the senior luncheon is March 14th. That's the St. Patrick's. That's the fun one. So seniors, come visit us. It's $10. We're going to have a great meal, great entertainment. Those are always fun, and I'm usually there too. So open table tennis Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's ping pong, 3:30 to 5:30 at Centennial Farm. That's free for anybody. If you're interested in playing ping pong, go to the farm. It's a big group. I think we're at about 25 to 30 people. And I'm proud to announce that this year for the Senior Olympics, first time we are hosting ping pong. We are the host for the Senior Olympics. So that's bringing a lot of people to the island, which is great. Pickleball, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. at Meridian School. There is a drop-in fee, $3 for that. Pickleball is on the rise. For those of you that don't know what pickleball is, raise your hand if you don't know. It's a cross between tennis and ping pong. So Google it, learn about it. It is becoming very popular. Our numbers are growing with this group on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Looking to do some leagues this summer for pickleball, utilizing the ice rink, the community rink. We have put 2 pickleball courts there. We've already did that last summer, so people were playing on the rink last summer. Also, we're a little low in registrations on cardio kick fit and cardio drumming. Very good programs. If you're looking to get out of the house, it's January, get fit, come to the rec department. Any questions from the commission? Oh, I forgot one.
Mother son bowling date? Always go to our website, and all the events are listed too. Yep.
Out to our seniors. This was booked about 2 days ago. We need 25 people for this senior bus trip. This is free. Free. The bus will come and pick us up at Township Hall at noon. We are going down to the Art Institute for 4 hours. So if you, my seniors have always said, Kim, we want to go somewhere. I finally got it for free. Detroit Art Institute.
DIA.
Yeah, sorry, DIA. So we have a very short window to get 25 people by February 2nd. I need to know and commit to the bus for this trip. So if you know anybody that want, just kind of pass the word, okay? I think we have about 8 people registered right now, but we need 25 to go.
That's what I was going to ask. What is the age? I mean, I got my AARP card now, so.
It's supposed to be 55 and older. Yeah. And I'm sorry, which program did you ask me about?
Mother and son bowling. I'm pretty sure it's after the daddy-daughter
Mother
dance.
son, yes, mother son bowling is Friday, February 23rd. So you need to register for that, and that is at Woodhaven Lane. So that's another fun event that we do. It's $25 per couple, $8 for each additional child. Yes. I do. It is April. Yeah, I don't, and it's in the contract.
Okay,
It's all in there. I think it's, I don't. That's correct. Yep. And it's early April. That I do know. Right when you go in. Yes. Yep. Okay.
All right, I got a couple of questions for you. All right, from last meeting we had, the irrigation system for the for soccer. Greg had a little to make sure that they do not stall the irrigation on a spare field that they're currently reusing.
Correct.
So did they do the irrigation system yet?
Want Kevin to come up? They haven't started yet.
They haven't started yet.
No.
Okay, but they're well. Okay, don't worry
Right.
about that because you're going to be on
And
top of it.
I'll ask Kevin. Kevin, the commission, I'm not sure if you were at that meeting. The commission had asked if not to put irrigation. Not in the plan.
Okay. Second question regarding soccer fields and Gyra baseball. Did we decide on a weight trim plan?
Everyone
Which-
needs to use their microphone when you're talking. So just
Did we decide on a weight trim plan yet for the baseball and
No.
soccer fields yet?
no. I'm actually meeting with Mike Cornell tomorrow. We're continuing those conversations because some things have changed with Wade Trim. There was some issues over there with spacing, funding, those types of things. So I am meeting directly with Mike tomorrow and
So is he
continue.
still planning on breaking ground in the spring to start construction for baseball fields then?
Not
Like you
there
want?
right now.
Not at this time. Nope.
What about Midwest Coyote Organization? Would you find anything more about that? The adult football organization that wanted to use.
Oh, that. No, I did not. They never called. I called him back, but he never called me back.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Click that back onto the page. Are you done up there? Yeah. Thanks, Kim. Thank you. Put the festival page back up there. Oh, there we go. Neat. Okay, old business. I see under old business, I say we really, old business, we have the November minutes, but we already approved those. But Leah brought to my attention the October 25th minutes were tabled in October. So do we table?
This was actually a misprint that should have said October.
Because the last meeting was in November, but we tabled the October minutes because they were not submitted, not from you, but a proper way. So
So we have to change our agenda and it says 7A should say October 2017.
no, we could just table it till next month
Okay.
if we want.
So we need the October minutes.
Yes, we can approve those in February. Right, Leah? That was it for old business, right? New business. Mr. Mark Fisher is out there, and he's going to do a presentation for us about today's publication. So we want to invite Mark up here and tell us all about it. Do you, somebody want to give him a hand with the monitor here, please?
Good evening.
Yeah, you can sit down there. Tim's gonna, there you go.
Can I pass out some samples to you guys?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Button to raise and lower that podium.
And the mic
Are we
picks you
okay?
up pretty good, yeah. You should-
Okay, can I pass out some samples?
Sure.
Okay.
Samples of what, I should ask first.
Okay. So I passed out a few samples. Obviously, we have we're a pretty big outfit. We have 15 communities in 2018, and some of them in front of you are things like, I'll just mention like the Downriver ones. We have Wyandotte Today magazines. Hopefully this year we'll have the Grosse-Ile Today magazines. We have Taylor Today magazines, Southgate Today, and Woodhaven Today. And I think we should concentrate on a few things. I think we should concentrate on the Woodhaven Today, because that encompasses a lot of what we're trying to do when we're talking about the Grosse-Ile. And what we're really talking about when we're talking about all of our Today magazines is we're really a tangible Facebook, for lack of a better word. We're the mayor's message, the supervisor, the township supervisor's message, we're the DDA's message, we're the school's message, we're the business owner's message. We're literally a link, a platform for everyone to interact with one another, with all the residents. Everything we care about within a select community is that exact community. So the Wyandotte Today, all we care about is Wyandotte. The Taylor Today, all we care about is Taylor. The Grosse-Ile Today, all we'll care about is Grosse-Ile. And what we were trying to do is, before we even figured out a game plan for Grosse-Ile, was all we really did was we listened. We listened to Kim, we listened to Brian in a meeting, and we figured out what they wanted out of this magazine. And all we're really trying to do is do three things. We're trying to save money of what you guys were currently doing. We're trying to put out a magazine that is going to be quarterly, 4 times a year, instead of twice a year. And we're going to try to put together a better looking magazine. So with those three components, that's really what we try to do. Every single thing we do every day is we try to get better at not only this particular magazine or this particular Today, but all of our Today magazines. And we deliver almost 1.5 million in deliverables for 2018 for all 15 of our communities for free to every business and every resident within that select community. And most of our magazines, except for Taylor, are quarterly. Taylor is 6 times a year. So if there's any questions you guys need, I would love to answer them. I'd love to make you guys feel comfortable with, the decision to go with us for the magazines, for the Grosse-Ile, and really incorporate a lot of what you guys are already doing, but just make it something special. Make it something, and we're going to interact with the schools. We're going to interact with the DDA. We're going to interact with, everyone involved within the community, all the intra departments, the police department, the fire department. We want to really create a nice platform for all of you guys to interact and connect with one another.
Have a lead person from your organization?
Me.
Or you?
Absolutely, 100%. We have salespeople in-house. We have designers in-house. We have editors. We have freelance writers. We have all of that. But in order to take care of you guys as best as possible, I'm the director of publishing for all 15 of our publications. I will take care of this.
And as far as each department, does she have to handle each department, or does each department have their own information.
Awesome.
venue to get
Love
to
the
you.
question. So I think how we're going to handle it, unless we decide differently, is I think the first issue for Q1, for our March edition, we're going to do it where it goes through Kim. And then after that, after they feel more comfortable with working with me directly, I think it'll go through me through Q2, Q3, and Q4. And just a good broad stroke is everything we do is within 3 months. So we have 55 publications. So we have a pub every week. But for this particular instance, for Grow Zeal, we'll probably be going in March, June, September, and December. Yes. Correct. Which is actually less than they paid last year, yes. Sure. We're going to absorb the additional costs. So all we're doing really is we're, in order to put out this fantastic magazine, and in order to do it in a quarterly fashion instead of biannual, we're going to also have advertisers to absorb the cost, and we're charging the Parks and Rec to put in their select pages for a pretty discounted price. Oh, yeah.
The rec commission something, and you're going to charge each advertiser something.
To absorb the additional cost, yes.
Okay, that's
Yes.
all I wanted.
I guess
No
my-
problem. I
So
apologize.
if I wanted to have something of my whatever,
Yes,
that I would get a charge, plus you're going to charge a rec commission.
correct.
So the advertisers does not offset the $7,200 from rec, right? That is a
Correct.
fee that we have to pay all the
Yeah,
time.
the $7,200 is literally to absorb the pages that you guys are putting in the book, and then we're going to offset the additional costs because we're still it's still more expensive than that to put on to do what we're doing. So we're going to, but we're also putting in other pages in there. We're doing community-driven stories. We're going to get a lot of the community involved. And so there's going to be a lot of editorial. As you can see from some of these samples, we're a really editorial-driven outfit, and we're literally a storyteller. And then we'll absorb the rest of the costs through the additional advertising through business owners. Yes.
How many pages are we talking about to start off with?
You're probably looking at...
I think it was 14, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it depends. There's going to be there's 2 that are going to be 14 for the Parks and Rec, and 2 that are going to be 10, and it's based on your season. But then we're probably looking at anywhere between a 32 and a 48 pager. You know, between some other ancillary items, a lot of other stories, a lot of community-driven stories, things of that nature.
So the rec department is going to give you some sort of something to talk about, while at the same time you're charging for.
Elena, this
Yes.
is going in the magazine.
Okay.
All of our programs, all of our events, it's going in the magazine. This will no longer exist.
Okay.
Correct.
Right.
Oh, I get it.
Correct.
We're getting 14 pages, and then
So
10 are
this-
dedicated to
I get
other
it.
things.
Right.
It's
Yes.
to replace. The
This is
channels.
to replace channels,
Okay.
because my goal was
Just to
quarterly.
reiterate,
I get
so
it.
the 14 and the 10, I didn't mean to confuse anybody. I apologize. So I think there's 2 quarters that are going to be heavy in the Parks and Rec, so we're going to
Summer.
dedicate 14 to that. And then there's going to be a couple other seasons that won't be as, you won't need as many
Not as
pages.
heavy.
So that's going to be 10. Yeah.
With
So, but it's still
postage
going
and
to be
everything.
it's still going to be 48 pages total, which is something pretty cool, pretty extraordinary.
Okay.
And this is all including postage and everything too?
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you pointed that out because you guys were doing it 2 times a year, and we're going to be doing it 4 times a year,
good.
which allows for you guys, if you think about it, so you're only doing 3 and 4 months at a time. So it allows you guys to put together your classes, put together all your Parks and Rec, where if you do something in January and all of a sudden you only do it 2 times a year, and there's something in July that, the classes change, this or that, well, this will accommodate for a lot of that timeliness. It'll allow you guys to really plan your quarters thoroughly. So I think it's going to be something special on the 3 fronts that we talked about. Yeah.
I think this question maybe goes more to Kim. How's this going to impact your pulling together these programs?
I think it gives her more flexibility, as you were saying.
I would like Kim to answer, please.
Oh, I apologize.
You mean as doing them? I've done them quarterly in my past positions. I've already talked to my staff.
I'm talking about scheduling all the different people and so forth.
Well, we do that now. We're doing the exact same thing that we're doing. It actually, doing it quarterly doesn't push us. It actually slows our process down a little bit. We have to jam 6 months. We have to have this ready to go by the end of February for the summer edition, where when this is spread out, it's going 4 times a year, it's a lot easier on us too. Does that make sense?
That's all I wanted to know. That you were
Our whole
comfortable
goal
with
in
that.
life
Yeah.
is to make things easier, to make things better.
And then because what happens when you do a publication twice a year, dates can change. So this has hit the household, and we've advertised for Winterfest in here, and we already changed the time. You see what I mean? So when you go quarterly, it gives us more time as the rec department to be more accurate, lock things in. So that's why I wanted to go to quarterly. It really works for recreation. I mean, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. So.
We talk specific allocation of magazines. How many are going to be mailed, and how many are going to be set aside to be at Township Hall, at the rec departments, and stuff like that? Is there a specific number?
Yeah, great question. So I believe we're going to do about 5,000 total. So we're going to mail approximately 4,200 to 44, depending on the residents, all residences and all businesses. And then we're going to give an extra 500, 600 to the city hall, to wherever you guys tell us you want them. I'm sure that the schools are going to have some of the intra departments might, and even some of the business owners might want some as well. Yeah,
Do
absolutely.
you know how many channels magazines were mailed out in
No,
the
how
past?
many?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I don't know.
I know that one time we've had probably 1,000 just stacked up because they ordered too many.
Right. Well, that's and when you say 5,000 mailed, we have 10,000 residents, but I don't know how many households.
Yeah, no, we're just talking residences,
Right.
CES, yeah.
Are they all
households.
glossy like this?
What's that?
Are they all glossy, the pages?
Yeah. I mean, that's what's
That's
so
nice.
cool. Yeah, thank you. That's what's so cool about some of these things that we're bringing, some of the bells and whistles, and I'm not taking anything away from what we've done in the past, what you guys have done in the past. It's just we're trying to bring something to the table that's going to be something special that a lot of the residents are going to gravitate towards, that a lot of them are going to leave on their coffee tables for 30, 60, 90 days out. And it's going to be something that they're really going to turn to when they're talking about looking at the classes, looking at this. Obviously, it's a competitive world out there, and we want to create such a nice platform for you guys to sell the Parks and Rec Department the right way.
Mine won't sit on my coffee table. It'll be in my bathroom because I read it there more often, right? So I'm just saying. Oh, Mr. Nelson?
Oh, my
That last comment was duly noted, but it is TMI. So.
What's that? Oh, sorry.
Anyway, I would like to make a comment, Mark.
Yes.
That wine.
Probably the Wyandotte today.
D-Profile?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What a wonderful publication.
Okay.
Very classy. Paper in Wyandotte Today. I love it dearly. I mean, it's upscale, and I hate to say this, Downriver is kind of, yeah, but this is a great way to enhance paper quality, and I cannot thank you enough for the wanting to be involved in doing this.
That is so nice of you to
This
say.
is so cool. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Will, but anything we can do to promote yada, yada, yada is only going to help us. Channels has been around for probably a long time. Well,
Sure.
It's done a good job, but it's time to put channels in here and upgrade. And I thank you.
Thank you. All we're really trying to do every single day when we work with employees, employer, when we work with customers, vendors, is we're trying to create, when we work with cities, different and Parks and Rec and different intro departments within the city and the townships, is we're trying to create win-win for all parties involved. And if we can't create a win-win for every single person, every single company that we work with, then we don't want to do business.
Where are you located out of yourself?
You're talking the company?
Yes.
Taylor.
So your salespeople would be hitting up our business owners, right, on our island. And I guess my question is, I can speak for a lot of business owners.
Sure.
I've lived here 50
I'd
years. I have
like
a
you
lot of
to.
connections with that.
Yeah.
I think that they're really getting hit a lot with different things. I know different publications, and they're going to have to pick and choose what they're going with. You know, one small business might have $100 to work with, another might have $1,000 or $10,000. So that being said, who are your salespeople, and how are they going to connect with our business owners that you're new in town?
Yeah, so
if you're new in town.
I'm glad that you brought that up. So we take that stuff very seriously, and we have salespeople that are territory driven. So the salespeople that we'll have in Grosse Ile will be people that understand the community really well, have already worked with a lot of the business owners here already, with some of our ancillary, some of our Nexus communities. So what I do when I set up all the different publications, when I set up the Today magazines, I'll have salespeople, I'll have writers, I'll have the editor know some of those different territories so that they're passionate about the 275 corridor, or they're passionate about the downriver area, or they're passionate about this or that. And so we'll set up the salespeople that will connect with the business owners really effectively. And I'm very conscious about the fact that there's different things to choose from. And I'm telling you from just conversations, I talk to a lot of business owners all the time. I talk to a lot of residents all the time from different areas. And there's a lot of people who from Grosse Ile have asked us over the last 2 or 3 years to get involved and put something like this together. So this is something that we take very seriously. This is something that I've contemplated for probably the last 12 or 18 months. So this is something that when Kim and I got together and we wanted to put together a strategy and a platform that would make you guys look fantastic, reward you guys with a lesser cost, and do some other things together to really put some bells and whistles into the magazine to make it just a great feel-good piece that you guys could be really proud of. And so in the next year, people are going to come up to you and say, thank you for making that change.
Is there a contract? If so, how long?
Well, I believe this could be a 1-year deal. And then you guys can say whether you like it or not for the next year. And we can do it that way. I think
You have to go to Township Board for approval.
Over 5,000. Anything over 5,000 does have to go to Township Board.
So what is it like for deadlines? What's Kim's deadline prior to publication? How many days in advance?
Sure. So a good rule of thumb is probably 3 weeks, but I'll work hand in hand. So if there's anything that comes at the last minute, we'll obviously make every accommodation to get some of that stuff in, because we know some of these schedules come in at the last second. Some of the advertisers come in at the last second. So we're cognizant of all those things, and obviously we do this every single week. Every single day. We work hand in hand with the mayors, with the supervisors, with Parks and Rec directors, with the DDA, with the schools, with the chamber. And so we're used to a lot of this stuff. We can move very fast.
Greg, you had a question or comment down there?
Yeah, just real quick. Who decides what articles go in here? I see there's some articles which look great, but again, how do you screen those? I mean, can I come up as a resident and say, hey, I want to put an article in here? Or how's that work? If you could explain that process.
Yeah. So, well, to be honest, I sometimes I do it on the fly. Okay. So we have writers in the area that are always looking for cool stories. We are dealing with the schools. We're dealing with business owners. So sometimes we're doing cool, like 1 or 2 in each publication business profiles. Sometimes we're doing 2 or 4 pages for the schools, depending on what they're trying to do, whether it's the August edition and they want to get some things out. Like obviously for September edition, we'll do some nice things because it's the start of the new year. So we're always looking for cool stories. If there's residents out there that want to email me, and I'll be more than happy to give my email address. I'll be more than happy. Obviously, we can do the info@communitypublishing.com if you wanted. But we're looking for residents to get involved if they want to. We're looking for business owners to get involved. We're looking for the intra-departments. Sometimes we have stories from the police chief or the fire department. Sometimes we have stories from the mayor, he or herself. So all we're really trying to do is create that platform that connects everyone together. And so if someone can write a fantastic story, someone can take some great photography because it really encapsulates what we're trying to do as far as telling the story on that 1 or 2 page, that we're more than happy to deal with a lot of different people. It comes from a lot of different angles.
Okay.
What about photography?
Yeah.
Do you set Kim up with, like for the first issue, that you actually come around here and take pictures of key areas of Grosse Ile?
Well,
or we do that?
Yeah, well, for the most part, I think it's going to be hand in hand. Sometimes Kim's going to supply it to us. And if she says, Mark, can you help us out with some stock photography to get things going? Or when you're in the area, when you have writers in the area and photographers in the area, we can take some nice shots. Obviously, I'm a big fan of putting something spectacular together for the cover. So anytime we're talking about the cover, Kim and I will work hand in hand to make sure we're putting something really nice on the cover, that it's high resolution, that it really looks nice. Obviously, it's a vertical frame, so we have to take that into consideration. So there's a lot of different factors involved, but literally you'll see me a lot. You'll talk to me a lot. Kim will work hand in hand with me. I think that you'll feel very comfortable with how we do business. We can't get bigger each year like we are without servicing all the people involved. We take this stuff very seriously, and we're proud of what we do.
Honestly, I want to say I have never heard from someone from Channels other than being involved what goes through the rec department. So I'm very impressed with you coming here and doing this presentation this evening and your product.
Thank you.
That being said, one question.
Deserve it.
Why are the quarterlies? I know it all comes down to 7,200, but why is one 21 and the other's 15? Is it because...
it was that seasonal thing. So we were putting 14 in a couple of them and then 10 in the other 2. And that's probably, I just did it on a denominational basis as far as that, it's probably worked out to like $150 a page.
And if we have 14 pages dedicated or channels, I'm not sure how many pages are in channels. I mean, this could be loaded up seriously with photos and stories and,
22 pages, and this is 6 months. So 14 is...
Right, come up.
Yeah.
a lot.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time.
I have another question, Jeff.
Got one more question.
And Greg, go ahead, and then Leah has one too.
Oh, go ahead, Leah. I'm sorry.
Yes, Kim, I'm assuming since it's $5,000 that has to go to the board, you've done an analysis of how much it costs to put out channels twice a year?
Yeah, it's in our budget. It's almost $8,000. It's $8,000.
$8,000 for each issue or for the whole year?
It's $8,000 for twice a year to do the publication and to mail it. $8,000 per year.
Per year, okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Greg?
Again, maybe I missed something, which wouldn't be unusual. So this magazine that we're talking about, it's just for the rec department, or is it also going to incorporate anything associated with Grosse Ile Township?
I'm so happy you said that. So I don't know if you have a Woodhaven today in front of you, but if I can pass a Woodhaven today down.
I have a couple.
Nope.
And the reason why I say that is, and not that we're going to make it exact to what we do.
I get
but
that.
I think it would help you understand what we're trying to do. So Woodhaven today had some of those same issues, some of those same concerns. And so we literally put a lot of the Parks and Rec department, or a lot of the Parks and Rec pages into the Woodhaven today, just like we'll do with the Grosse Ile. But more importantly than that, then we added to that. Then we basically built around those Parks and Rec pages, so it wasn't just a Parks and Rec magazine anymore. We're literally talking about what we keep talking about the last 15, 20 minutes as far as we want to get the schools involved. We want to get the DDA involved. We want to get the chambers involved. We want to get the business owners involved and do some business profiles. We want to do some great community-driven stories. If there's some fantastic high schooler out there that was a 3.1 student in his freshman year or her freshman year, and all of a sudden as a senior they're a 3.7, and all of a sudden they're going to some fantastic college that they never thought they could get into, we want to write that community-driven story. We are so excited about putting together this magazine for Grosse Ile and putting together some fantastic articles within the just a storytelling editorial piece within the Grosse Ile that we're going to work around the Parks and Rec. And so we're going to have all facets as far as different age groups, different genres of people to really from 15 or 20 to 70 are going to be reading this magazine. We want all people involved, and we're really excited about to bring that to the table.
I love it. It looks great. I mean, I'm looking at the Woodhaven one, and you've got stuff from, rec. You got stuff from clerk's office, DPS. So it sounds like you're going to sort of start with rec, but then grow it into the other departments.
We're going to build the magazine around the rec, but you'll see very quickly it's going to be an all-encompassing magazine that's going to serve all of Grosse Ile very well.
I have a couple questions. Well, two questions. First of all, I know that Rec's tentatively going to fund this if we fund this ourselves, right? It's coming all from the Rec budget. So we get the best 14 pages, right? I mean, I'm just saying. It's like, I know that you're going to go solicit businesses to pay for that, but we're going to, if we commit to this, it's $7,200 from us.
Sure.
I just don't want to be overshadowed by something that's not pertaining to Rec. I'm all for stories of our great citizens, our community. Sure. Our GDA does some great things.
I'm hoping not to overshadow.
Right.
I'm hoping to complement. I'm hoping to bring. I'm really hoping to showcase. I'm hoping that, and I'm not taking anything away from the old Parks and Rec, the channels. I'm hoping to bring it out. I'm hoping to bring some vibrancy out to it, so people want to read it.
I never understood why we weren't allowed to solicit advertisements for channels, but we're going to do it for this one.
I'm not. He is.
Oh, he is. No, I get that, but
No, we just gave away free ad.
But you don't see restaurants or any, or I don't know. I just was under that assumption that
we will make sure that the Parks and Rec is showcased. I promise.
You.
Because we're paying for it.
Well, not only that, but Kim's the one who's going to be helping me with the editing. I'm sure that she's going to have some good say in it as well.
I wrote for 21 years for a magazine, too. So
I'm sorry?
I wrote for a magazine for 21 years, too.
Well, what do you think about this?
I think it's a great product. I think the commission really likes it. I know there's other venues that we have to visit and hear them out, too. And that being said, I mean, it's kind of like if we're paying more for the channels that was paper, and I'm not going to slam channels. I'm trying to find the right wordage here, verbiage. Yeah,
It's even regular shape channels.
Pardon me?
It's not like a normal shape.
Dude, you're so funny. But yeah, I mean,
Can I add, I got a question, and this isn't directed at you. It's I know there was a motion before the meeting started about not voting on this. Can we clarify why we're not going to vote on it?
Yeah.
Because I'd like to.
I can.
I think the second piece of paper you got.
I think the reason I took it off for a vote, I wanted Mark to talk to all of you first.
Right.
I didn't want to rush the commission with a decision tonight. I want you to absorb, because this is a change. This is a recreational change. We are eliminating something that rec has had for I don't know how many years. Channels is a long time. So I pulled it off because I want the commission to take time to think. I don't want you to make a quick decision. And the other reason is I also presented a quote. I spoke with Will from Grosse Ile Grand, went to him as well, who is our local paper. We had a great discussion. I asked him, what do you think? How can we get rec in the Grosse Ile Grand? So I was kind of thinking different things. What can we do to change up rec? So I did reach out to Will, and he is in the audience tonight. And so his proposal is also presented to you as well. So, like I said, I didn't have Will come up. If you felt like saying a couple words, I would like you're a paper, you're a hub as well. The magazine and the newspaper are two different things, in my opinion. I try to keep channels. It's kind of the same concept. You got a book. We've got 14 pages. There's a lot of guts in it. And then I also wanted to incorporate recreation with this community. I don't want to be separate. Sometimes I feel like recreation's kind of separate. And I really want to be part of the team and part of this community and try to get rec out of that rut and bring it forward positively. So that's why the magazine really caught my eye. You guys all looked at it. It's beautiful. Woodhaven today is what really caught my eye. You see the rec programs, how they're laid out in there. So I didn't want to rush my commission, and that's why it's taken off the agenda tonight. So I wanted you to think about it. And I also did want to give Will Evans a chance to speak on his proposal. I'm not sure if you're ready tonight, Will, but I do want to, give you a chance to speak about your proposal that you had handed to the commission as well. You do a great job with the paper, and it's your call if you want to come up and say a few words. You don't have to. Okay. So Will Evans is from the Grosse Ile Grant, so.
Mark, thank you very much. Thank you
Thanks,
so
Mark.
much. You want to get your strategy done?
Is he taking off? Okay. No, well, if Mark wouldn't mind, if he could stick around just until after we hear from this gentleman, in case maybe we want to ask each the same question, and if that's okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Publisher of Grosse Ile Grant. Yes, we did make a presentation to Kim, and this was based about pages inside the Grosse Ile Grant. Very recently that we have learned that there would be a desire to have such a such a product with it having a glossy type of printing. We can do that for you. I was unaware that that was going to be the criteria, and that was going to be something of what your desire and wishes were. So we do have a proposal that is forthcoming to you for a glossy type of product that will accompany with Grosse Ile Grant. Grosse Ile Grant is not a product like that. It will be glossy, and what it would do is it would be monthly. Monthly. Now, I want to emphasize monthly. The reason for that, and I will present that at the during my presentation, but I just want you to keep in mind that with a monthly type of distribution for you, what we do is we don't deliver to 5,000. This is what I understood, that this would be delivered to 4,200 to 4,400 homes and businesses, plus an extra 500 copies, rounding it off to 5,000. So that is 20,000 distribution per year. What we would do on a monthly basis is we print and distribute, we direct mail to all the homes, all the condominiums, and all the apartments. We direct mail to all the businesses. Our magazine is 100% online. You could look at it from your iPhone, your iPad, your laptop, and your desktop. 24/7, 365 days a year. But we also have news rack and countertop distribution in Grosse Ile, plus our sister cities of Trenton and Wyandotte. There's countertop and news rack distribution there. Our grand total of distribution is $9,000 per month. Per month. Take $9,000 a month times 12 months a year. That would give you 108,000 impressions. 108,000 impressions, as opposed to 20,000. I have an understanding that the Recreation Department has a $60,000 challenge. Now let's look at this as a business. If you had customers come to you in the Recreation Department at $10 per customer, that's 6,000 customers that you need to get that $60,000. How are you going to get 6,000 customers? 6,000 customers could be definitely enhanced and achieved by 108,000 impressions rather than 20,000 impressions. We do business in all 17 cities of downriver area. We direct mail to all 17 cities. We have been in business for 30 years. And I don't know one business. I do a lot of marketing, a lot of consulting. I go out of state for consulting. I don't know one business. Treat this as a business, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know one business that is successful by advertising 4 times per year. You need a consistent, persistent effort. Kim, you made mention just a moment ago about how the dates may change and how twice a year that when the change happens, that throws a monkey wrench into the program for you. Well, those changes even may happen to you on a quarterly basis. But if they were done on a monthly basis, then it's current edition. It's current information. I have had conversations. I would like the commission to do some fact checking. Personal conversations with Mr. Carl Zomack from Taylor. Julie, who is the assistant to Mayor Joe in Wyandotte. Heather, who's the special events coordinator in Wyandotte. Dustin Lent, the city administrator of City of Southgate. And David, the assistant city administrator and finance director, City of Southgate. Face-to-face conversations with these people, that they also do business with community publishing and the mentioned like Wyandotte Today magazine, Southgate Today magazine, etc. Face-to-face conversations with them and community publishing, those Today magazines do not charge the Recreation Department for the information published in those magazines. I request, encourage you to do fact-checking and find out why that community publishing would like to charge you when they are not charging the other cities and having the taxpayers pay that. I look forward to giving you our proposal with a glossy type of product on a monthly basis and continue to do a great job in the Groseal Grant. I'd like to close with this mention that we started publishing May 5th of last year. We have a 6-month participation agreement with our advertisers. October came, and we sat in the office, and I said, this is where we really know whether we're really well read or we're not, if this is really working or it isn't. We went back to our advertisers, 80% renewed, 80%. They are extremely happy out there. We are really being known and loved on Groseal. Of the 20%, a lot of those are seasonal businesses, and they said they'd be back. I thank you very much.
Questions for Will while he's up here? All right, presentation.
I got a question for Mark, if you don't mind, Mark. He said something about the other cities' recreation departments do not get charged. And I guess my thought is it the recreation departments don't get charged and the city gets charged?
Right.
Okay.
So it's just
paying the bill.
It's semantical.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, that's a big deal if that's an
absolutely
issue, so.
Absolutely.
But still, I think Kim will check into that.
Yep.
And then we'd also like to see a proposal, for the monthly. But that way we can compare apples to apples.
Sure, absolutely. And we're digital as well. We put everything out into you can put it into the website. We have a mobile app. Okay. We provide media flips and links and stuff of that nature as well. Okay. And the 20,000 to the 108,000, it's really sort of voodoo economics, but you're really talking about if he's going to do 9,000 and we're going to do 5,000, you're really talking 36 to the 20, because our magazine's still going to be on the table for the 3 months, whether it's because he's going to the same exact people, on a monthly basis. So it's still going to be there for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and so will the new one. So
And
will
it's
his.
not just Will's their publication. There's multiple newspapers.
Sure, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of these business owners got to pick and choose where they're going to put their money at. One question though, I do get the Wyandotte in my mailbox on Groseal every time it's published. Do they have a bigger distribution? Do they pay more for their forward or something? I get
what we did
from Wyandotte.
Yeah.
We do own a business in Wyandotte. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it.
Yeah, well, what we did a long time ago is when we were, Wyandotte was one of the first cities that was established even before myself. And what they wanted to do is, what better way to tout the boutiques, tout the restaurants, tout some of those great things that are happening in Wyandotte to a Nexus community, to an affluent area, which does frequent some of those boutiques, some of those restaurants and stuff. So sending them all to all the residents, sending the Wyandotte Today magazine at the time, since we didn't have a Groseal, sending a Wyandotte Today to Wyandotte as well as Groseal just seemed like a smart, perfect fit. It was a great compliment to all the businesses. They really appreciated what we were doing. And I think that you guys are so close that a lot of the residents really go to some of those nearby places to go eat and shop and all that good stuff. So there's no animosity between the two Nexus communities. It's just one of those things that we're bringing more to the table for all of the residents and all of our business owners.
So you would send the Groseal one to the Wyandotte?
No, the Groseal will just be going to Groseal.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if there was a desire for us to send it to the other areas, because I'm assuming you're still going to send if we started this, if we did this, you would still be mailing the Wyandotte one to Chad or whoever you are on Groseal. They'd still get the Wyandotte one, or
correct.
Okay.
So Wyandotte will get, Groseal will get both. Groseal will get Wyandotte and Groseal. It's the best of both worlds.
I just think sometimes it's frustrating when you open a publication and it's supposed to highlight your community, but almost 90% of the advertisements from off-island businesses, and I get that we're a small community with a small business district.
Sure.
That being said, what would your answer be if someone lives on the island, they got a business off-island? Is that frowned upon? Is that not done? Is there a law that says, you can't run my business in that Groseal magazine?
No, absolutely not.
Well,
follow me on that?
No, that makes sense.
Right, that's what I mean. Yeah.
But business owners, you have a plethora of business owners that are residents from Groseal.
Right, that's what I mean. Yeah. So they can advertise their off-island business in our
they can advertise in some of our other Today magazines. That's why so many business owners have come to me and said, we would love you to participate in this, because they want to get involved in a lot of our Today magazines. A lot of our business owners aren't just in one community. They're in multiple. Obviously, that's why we do what we do when we're segmented. When we go down the 275 corridor and we have 5, 6, 7 Nexus communities together, a lot of our business owners are in 5 and 6 of those pubs. The same thing in the downriver corridor, the same thing, in some of our other ancillary areas. So I'm really cognizant of where we're set up and where we're launching new publications and new communities from here on, so that we provide that connector, if you will. And so, that's what we're trying to do all the time. We're constantly talking with festivals. We're constantly talking with business owners. We're constantly talking with the residents, how we can improve the magazine as a whole. We do this all the time, and we're trying to get better at what we do every day, every week, every month, every year. And this is just by being part of the Groseal family, this is just one more step. And we're jacked that you even asked us here today. We're really excited about this.
We all good?
Okay, so I just want to kind of wrap this piece up, but what I would like to do, and I know, Will, you're going to put that second piece of glossy material together for a presentation, and that'll be presented. Because I'm running out of time. That's the hard part. Mark, thank you so much.
Thanks, Mark.
So time is in essence right now because I have to have material either to Mark or to Will or to Channels, okay, within the next, I'd say 2 weeks. So maybe 3 weeks. I'm pushing it. So I think what I'd like to do, I don't want to wait until I can't wait till the end of February. We will have to have a special meeting because this is, whether I go one way or the other, it is over 5,000. It has to go to the board. So once Will has his final product done, I'll call a special meeting and let Will make his presentation, and then we will have to take a vote on that.
Are we good with that? Can you all?
I'm good with that.
So Bill can do that. All
It'd
right.
be possible to have both Mark and Will there at the same time, because my concern is, I want to make sure we're comparing apples to apples. Will may present something, and we might want to say, well, Mark, can you do that? Or Mark's doing a certain thing. Can, you know what I mean? We could make sense if Mark and Will are both able to, or willing to do that.
Agreeable? Yep. Okay. Right. That's what
Okay.
we'll.
I'm looking at my calendar right
Come
now.
up with a date, and I will email both of you. Okay. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you. Can we get that website back up, please? Whoever's in the control room up there. Thank you. Okay, so we have a couple of things to vote on here. B, we're down to B now. Kim, you want to give us an update on this new range ball dispenser, not to exceed $6,000 to be purchased through the 2018 fiscal budget?
Yes, this is for the range. The ball machine dispenser at our range is on its last leg. We probably did about 10 to 15 repairs last year. So what I'm asking the commission, I am researching. I actually have 2 quotes from 2 different vendors. I want to at least get 4 from different vendors, so I'm still researching that. I'm just asking the commission to approve not to exceed $6,000. This will be off the 2018 budget, not this budget that will end March 31st. I would like to put it into the 18 budget.
How old is the current ball dispenser?
25 years.
The original one.
Okay, so it's definitely exceeded its life
It's had
expectancy.
its.
Okay.
Yes.
I will make a motion that Kim secure 4 bids and present it to the township board not to exceed $6,000. Yeah, $6,000.
Second? Be a second? Any more discussion about this?
Yeah, Chad, let me add one thing to it. Currently, you have to go to the pro shop to buy the star-shaped tokens to put in there. So a lot of people they park their car by the range, by the token machine. Then they have, and I'm not against exercise here, but they have to walk all the way to the end of the Water's Edge building up there to buy a token unless they bought 10 of them last time they're there and they have some in their bag. This way you're going to be able to use your credit card, debit card, in this machine right then and there.
Do we keep track of those when those things are swiped, or is there a company that does that? Or
That's why I'm exploring different options. There's some that can just do cash. The one that I'm really eyeing, you can actually do. It's a like a membership card, meaning come into the pro shop, purchase, and then you're reloading it. So this is just more convenient. It's an investment, yes. We need it. And the range is a moneymaker, so it makes sense to me to make this purchase. And I agree with you. I
think the range. Not
No. My only fear with this is, there's going to be things that are going to be stored in there.
Such as
cash,
Oh,
yada,
all
yada,
right.
yada. And,
There's another storage
depending on
container.
how well it's secured, somebody's going to go up to with a baseball bat and beat the hell out of it and then want to steal everything in there. So we just need to be concerned about the safety of it.
So you don't empty that every night? There's some.
Yeah, it's still the same process. So, but again, that's why I'm still I'm looking at what the prices are. They range between $4,000 and $15,000. Okay, the Cadillac is the $15,000. I'm just asking for approval not to exceed $6,000. I will not purchase the Cadillac model. So, there's different ones. I just don't have it yet.
This is going to be, this is just, I don't know what kind of question, Mr. Nelson, you can answer this. What is the difference between going there and purchasing balls to use just on the, what's called, and not taking them to use on the golf course? Or is there? You know, if this is this just for the driving range or?
Driving range,
Right.
driving range.
Range balls are nowhere near the quality of the balls.
Dad, if you need a
course.
bucket of range balls to make it around the course, I'd take lessons if I was you.
I'm going to take lessons. I'm just learning the different things I got to provide.
Range balls are
Speak
actually
appropriately
fairly
when we're
cheap.
talking this.
They're cheap.
Okay.
They're cheaply made.
See, we didn't, Dr. Woodward and I didn't know about this. Yeah.
If you made them real nice, people would steal them. And I mean, they're nice enough, but they're not Titleist Pro V1s, which is going to for everybody for hoop. But that's the best golf ball out there to play on the golf course.
Okay, so Greg put a motion. Leah seconded the motion. We had a discussion. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
One more thing. Currently, there's not a fenced-in area around where the ball machine is. There's a pad there, and there's a ball machine. But once you jump the fence, if we lock the gate there, it's only a 4-foot fence. We may have to down the road here consider maybe fencing off the padded area and obviously putting a lock on the gate that opens it. It's just devil's advocate outside the box.
Or install cameras, or which is
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. We'll
Yep.
look at that on there.
Thanks.
Okay. The next thing is thanks. Vote and approve the purchase of the new range ball picker, not to exceed $3,000. I know they purchased in the 2018 fiscal budget. Now, I think the picker is that machine that you drive around that picks up the balls. All right, you can elaborate on this. So, all right.
And again, the picker is because I've done it too. You got to pick up the balls. There's thousands of them out there. It's the cage kind of in the front of the golf cart that we drive around. Right now, the left picker side is broken, so we're only operating on 2 pickers right now. So if that's not working properly, it actually costs the rack more money because it's going to take longer to pick up, because I got to pay someone to pick up the balls. So, and plus it is falling apart. It's the original one. And we definitely need this. There's no doubt, because I have picked up the range balls, and it's very frustrating when your picker is not working.
So we do not need to recommend this $3,000 to the township board. We can approve this today, and it will come out of our 2018 fiscal budget, right?
That's correct. But
All
I
right.
do want to let the board know or the commission know what I'm purchasing and what I'm looking to do.
Yep. So I need a motion to approve this expenditures of $3,000 for a ball picker-upper.
Motion to approve the purchase of a ball picker not to exceed $3,000.
Second? All in favor? We discussed it. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
One more thing, Chad. The picker is the device that is pulled behind a golf cart. Okay?
Yes, I've seen Kim using it.
Now, the only problem with that is there's no cage around the guy that's driving the golf cart. So we're at the mercy of people being civilized citizens that when we pick it up, granted, late in the day and yada, 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 but I've been around this golf business for 100 years. And there's always some person out there that decides at 7:30 they're going to pick a couple balls out of the woods, out there and hit them. I'm not advocating us getting a caged-in machine, but just know that down the road, any viable range, actually you can pick them up while they're hitting if you have a caged-in vehicle.
All right.
Down the road.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Insight. All righty. So we are good with that. We amended D onto subcommittee updates. Mr. Nelson.
I have one that is near and dear to me, and I don't know how to fix it. So because you people are all a lot smarter than I am, and that's okay, the ADA kayak launch that we put in every spring and take out every fall.
At the cost of? Okay.
Oh, that's not it. It's
No,
close.
You're close. Yeah. Okay.
And is not used,
1,500 a season.
and is not used by pretty much anybody, because I'm told that we bought the wrong one. I'm not going to mention any names. It was back in the day. And a lot of grant money, I think, was included in that purchase. And I want to find out the procedure, what we can do with that kayak launch. Can we sell it? Can we this? Can we that? What can we do? Because it sits there now, and it's just sits there.
Well, when that was purchased, when something's purchased with a grant or partially funded by
Tim Rooney
grant
was
money,
the one
it
that
has to
purchased
stay where
it.
it is, right?
It does. I mean, it's all ADA. That welcomes more grant monies for that whole area, Jim. ADA. You can't just say that no one's using it because there's not enough handicapped people on Groseal, but you got to do it for that one person. It's all part of accessibility. And that's points that Kim gets for grant monies. When she wants to get grant monies, it's going to be ADA accessibility. Am I wrong, Kim?
However, the people that aren't handicapped can't use it or could use it, but it's so cumbersome to use it that they don't use it, so they use the green grass mats by the travel lift.
I say that that's probably their own opinion. I don't think that it's that difficult. Wyandotte has an ADA accessible one, whatever. It's part of the thing.
Like ours?
I don't know if it's exactly like ours, but it's ADA accessible. It's the same company.
But if somebody like me that doesn't need ADA accessible, and it's a pain in the rear end to use it.
But why is it a pain?
You bought the wrong
What
one.
are you hearing that it's such a pain to use?
From 4 or 5 kayakers.
No, what about it is a pain?
It's hard to load your kayak. And they
But
feel
they have no problem unloading it from their vehicle and dragging it to the ramp.
They see it as being dangerous.
It's no different than this.
I
don't know.
I'll talk to the users. But I don't want to see it go in and come out every year and nobody touch it. It's crazy.
I got a question. Who determined that it costs $1,500 to put this thing in? How is that determined?
Is that the Hearst charge?
The Hearst has to take it in and out.
Hearst Marina?
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
$650.
That's what they
to
charge us
Yes.
to.
You take it out, or $750
Yeah.
each thing. Yeah.
Yep.
We've had that down there for how many years now?
4 or 5 probably.
4
at
or 5
least.
years. I'm just going to put this out there because Kim and I were down at Sunrise Park one afternoon, and these guys pulled up in their kayaks, and they just raved about that kayak launch at Water's Edge. And they said, "Shh, don't tell anybody, but we really love it over there at the ADA one." And I went, "Okay, well, it would it's nice to see that somebody's using it, and it does need to get more usage. I just think we need to know what the restrictions are that we can and cannot do with that, since Do we have to launch that if we purchased it?
A lot of money to have it sit there. and collect dust.
I think it's a lot more safer for the community. I think it looks better than a green carpet, indoor-outdoor
Absolutely.
carpeting on the north end. I mean, it's not safe, I don't think, for those kayakers on the north end to be by the travel lift and in the in and out of boats coming out over there. I don't think it's a heavy trafficked area over there. We had Kayak Connection come over and investigate both south and north end areas. They deemed the south end very suitable. And, the people that want the north end kayak are the ones that are going to sit there and tell you probably don't like it.
Correct.
It's not safe, whatever.
You're right.
But a lot of money went into it. Grant monies went in it. A lot of trouble that Tim went to get it. I don't understand why we want to discriminate against ADA people.
I'm not discriminating. I just want a feasibility study as to why it's not used more.
I think, whether it's used or it's not used, I think is irrelevant. Okay, this is what I foresee for happening. You take that ADA ramp out and you don't put it in or you don't provide it. I'm handicapped. I go down there to an established kayak launch, and I'm handicapped, and I try to launch my kayak, or you don't provide access to the kayak launch, I'm going to call Jeffrey Feiger, and I'm going to sue you.
Fine.
So I $1,500 to put that thing in and out because someone says that it's a pain to use. I'd like to know who's saying it's a pain to use. From an ADA handicapped person. I want to hear it from a handicapped person that it's a pain to use.
Well, I'd like to have the whole thing explored.
before we, even do anything. I want to hear all the pros and cons from professionals that know what.
What do you mean by a professional?
In reference
Look at
to
our
kayak.
ADA stuff for the swimming pools, because no one ever uses those.
I mean, this
We
has
use
been
those.
this has been going on for 4 or 5 years since it's been in there. I just asked how long that's been down there, and now we got to go back and rehash this. I think that if there is one 88 person that's going to use that, then we need to spend that money and get it in and out of the water. That's all there is to it. But I get it. And if anybody out there wants to come to our February meeting and explain to us why they don't like that ramp, you are more than welcome to be here. So
Have Kathy Walker come to the meeting. I'll invite her.
I'm not mentioning any names. I'm just
I
saying
am.
everyone's involved. Everyone's invited. So.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Oh, I got confused. Where am I? Oh, are you done, Jim?
I'm done. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Open space, Leah. Open Space and Greenways Committee, and then
I didn't make the last meeting, nor was Ann able to go, but I talked with Cliff St. Pierre, the chairperson for the Open Space Greenways Commission, and they've been working on the annual report. The budget has been presented. They're continuing to look at acquiring property for the ferry trail entrance. That is in progress. The other property issues, purchases, there's been no progress there. And they did send 16 welcome letters to new Groseal residents. And they are looking for a high school liaison person. The one who has been their liaison from the high school has retired. So if anybody can give me some names even tonight, I'll get them to St. Pierre. Right over here, and Kevin. So that's it. The Open Space Commission is doing its work, but it's kind of a quiet time right now.
is that Leah? Thank you so much. I think that, don't you introduce
That's
Alicia
down,
here?
it's
No.
down. Keep looking
Oh,
down.
schools, I see. Okay, all right. Kim Farrell, Water's Edge update, or was that in your report?
Yeah, I gave my report.
Okay, thank you. Programs, culture events, okay. Obviously, we told you all about Winterfest and all that good stuff we got coming up for that. Also, we would like to make an announcement that, help me out here, Sandy, the Canvas Cupcakes and Coffee is Saturday, February 3rd at 11 a.m. in the morning. It's sponsored by the Groseal Alliance for the Arts. Tickets are $30 if you're a member, $35 if you're not a member. It includes all supplies for Canvas Cupcakes and Coffees, including a wonderful lunch. So I gave a shout out there for that. What happened here with the Island Fest page? That's the wrong date on the township site here. Oh. And when do you guys run out of here from the office, please, and get this back on for me? GrosealIslandFest.com. The dates are June 1, 2, and 3. If you go to the Island Fest website, GrosealIslandFest.com, exhibitor applications, sponsorship forms, and parade forms are all available online. You can also pick them up at the rec department. Call 734-675-2364 for more information. I would like to let you all know that as of now, we will not be receiving any financial backing from the township, so we're on our own with sponsorships. You got your attention, guys? So sponsorships are really important, really important. It's the first year that Island Fest has gone out on their own with this, so I'm excited about that. We've got some great programs lined up. We have, there we go. So if you go to GrosealIslandFest.com, this is the home page right here for the website. Click on schedule. It's updated weekly now, as you can see. Friday night we got 50 Amp Fuse, we got the carnival, we got children's choir at 6. fireworks are moved to Saturday night. Everyone needs to make sure they know that Saturday night's the fireworks, because we thought that, it was a little chaotic to get down there Friday at Built, and now we would just like to try it on Saturday. Sunday, we got the Beatles tribute band. We have the VFW returning for the beer tent. We're also bringing spirits back in. If you click on the next form, it's got applications. As you can see, it's got exhibitors, parade, sponsors. Volunteer site will be up and running next week. It's volunteerspot.com. We need people starting on Wednesday all the way through Sunday at 6, 7 p.m. And then, of course, I have my little Chad's Chatterbox, which is my new blog. So check that weekly for updates, and then daily. Oh, look, there's Winterfest.
The chair of Island Fest.
I am the chair of Island Fest, too, Oh, there's my dog. Anyways, so please sign up to volunteer. Sponsorships, Island Fest is June 1, 2, 3, and website's GrosdaleIslandFest.com. Oh, something new this year. We're having a phone party on Friday night for the kids. So on the north side of the hangar, there will be another stage with DJs, and they bring in these big light trusses, and they bring in these big foam cannons. It's not inside a rubber pit. It's going to be done in the parking lot. They turn these cannons upside down, and they just flood you with foam.
And that's for 50 years old?
No, it's for 13 to 19, but we're in the process of talking about having the first hour for all ages, Walt, and all ages. So, because, younger kids are going to want to be in there, but is your little 7-year-old brother going to want to party with your 16-year-old sister? I don't know, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And then Saturday night, where you're doing a glow party in the same area, where they spray you with all this crazy glow paint, and then they turn on these lights. And so it's going to be busy for our helpers. Helicopter rides, vendors, crafters, carnival. I touched on that. Hot chocolate Island Fest, art show, paint party. So once again, please go to GrosdaleIslandFest.com and then like our Facebook page too. That's it for my events update. Am I missing anything? All right. Well, Dr. Woodward, Centennial Farm update.
I think Kim brought us up to date on the Centennial Farm very well. Still working on a lot of things, but the weather's permitting. That's it.
Okay. Ian's not here for airport recreation. Alicia is...
No, it's Greg.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's Greg. Sorry, Greg. Okay. Mr. Meering, Greg, airport recreation area update.
They called me out. Kim, and I'm going to sort of pose this to you, because I know in our last meeting there was talk about Gyra Baseball was ready to, they had the money, they were ready to start a field construction. They wanted the location. I knew you were having a meeting, and I'm assuming you had that. What is the status of that? When's the next meeting? I know spring's rolling around, and they were really chomping at the bit to start a field.
We have a meeting tomorrow at 11 in my office.
Meeting tomorrow at 11? Okay.
Mike Cronell and myself.
I'm sorry?
Just Mike Cronell and myself. We were gonna sit down and have a
Mind if I sat in on it? Would you mind if I sat in on it?
Not at all.
I didn't think so.
We were trying to figure out what day was good, and we actually just locked in that via text, I think, this morning.
Okay, so 11 o'clock tomorrow, your office?
Yep.
Thank you. That's the only thing I wanted to talk about, was try to, keep that moving ahead, keep it on the front burner until we get that
That's the goal. Come up with the solution for the best place. And I can give you an update on that, too. I mean, I think, when we met last, I think Jim was there. Chad, were you in that meeting with baseball? I think where we're at, I mean, I support soccer, football, baseball, all three. There's no doubt. That's what I do for a living, is sports and all that. So, where we're at right now is just, finding the best spot for this ball diamond. That's really what it is. And also, I think from the and again, there's no recreational funds that I pay for anything that Gyra does, football or even soccer. They maintain their own fields. They are self-sufficient at this point. They're paying their water bills. Both organizations, Gyra and GISA, understand that rec. Unfortunately, we're not in the position financially to do anything. I can't mow the grass. Yes, I get the trash. But the concern that I brought up was the $4,163 that came out of the recreation budget last season for us to line the fields for baseball.
That was a lot, huh, Greg?
That was my staff that went out and lined them. So when I started the job, I'm like, what? You know. So it was kind of a new thing, and I rolled with it. I want to keep that going because I didn't know if they had people to line the field, so I'm not going to say no to them. But as of right now, I don't feel it's fair that recreation is, lining fields for baseball, but we're not doing anything for soccer and football, where I have two groups that are standing on their own 2 feet, understanding the situation, paying their water bills, putting irrigation system in, doing their thing. So that's the conversations I am trying to have with baseball, to not just throw up a ball diamond because we have money, but to think about, do we need that ball diamond? Who's going to maintain it? Who's got the money to put into it? Things are going to break. You got to look at all these factors, because putting up a ball diamond is a very expensive project. I want it done right. I'm not going to make a quick decision and put it in the wrong place. Okay, so that's where I'm standing. I'm working with baseball. I want that to happen. I just want it done right, because if some reason somewhere down the road they run out of money, who's going to maintain that field? And we all know we don't have that kind of money. We got debt on an ice rink. We got $42,000 there, and then we also have the building. So I'm just being conscious that we're not just going to make a quick decision and throw a ball diamond somewhere. I want to think it through. I support all 3 entities 110%. So that's what our meeting is about tomorrow.
Chad?
You.
Chad?
Yes.
One more thing. I've asked Kim, and I'll be at the meeting tomorrow too with Mike. I want to know how many teams he has and how many fields does he need. Before we think about building any new fields, how many fields do we currently use, and how many teams do we have, and how many fields do we need? I don't know. So I want a feasibility study done to determine how many fields do we need and how many do we have now that we use. We use the school's fields now.
And we use the Sacred Heart Field, which
that's going away though.
Right? Yeah, they told us all that.
Well, we'll find out.
Sure. Greg, you will be there, right? Thank you so much for doing that, man. Absolutely.
Greg, my office 11. Okay.
Happened back there. Oh, okay. All right. Greg, good. Yeah. Thanks, sir. Okay, now we have Ethel's update, senior citizens and senior Olympics, and I believe that Alicia Bondar is going to read Ethel's update for us.
I am. She left us a note, and the note reads as followed. Senior notes for Thursday, today's commission meeting. The new chairs are liked, more comfortable and stable. It's great to have decent tables as well. Long time coming, but appreciated. Sure other groups are pleased too. Seniors enjoyed the holiday dinner. The sweet potato tarts were especially liked. Oktoberfest dinner was a disaster, but put a real crimp on desire to attend dinners. Thanks for going back to TV Deli. Eddie O's music is always a winner. Many have asked for reasonable price day trips. Several have been going with Brownstown. The senior club packaged 23 plates of homemade cookies at Christmas for shut-ins. The club gave cash donations to the Goodfellows and the Ambulance Fund. Many thanks go to the EMS for their prompt response when called. Where do we stand on delivery for the new handicap van? It's been 1 year so far. The club continues to send monthly cash donations to Sacred Heart Food Bank. Looking forward to the St. Patrick's Dinner, March 14th at Centennial Farm Activity Room at 12:30. The cost is $10, advanced reservations only. Any thoughts on the former request for horseshoe pits? Good activity for seniors and others as well. Suggestions. Croquet is being introduced in the best clubs in North Carolina and elsewhere. Perhaps we should be in the ones in our area. It's a great game for all ages. As a personal note, thank you to all who have been so kind and supportive during my ordeal. I'm finally home, gaining strength. Looking forward to returning to my busy schedule. Have, with help, continued my monthly column of Recreation Department activities in the Trenton Tribune. The Trib is doing a great job of reporting Groseal items of interest. Pick up a paper beginning of each month, many locations on Groseal, including the Township Hall, Kroger's, Smoky, and more. Have a great meeting. Signed, Ethel.
You're just tuning in. That was Alicia reading Ethel's update. That was not.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Ethel, just an update with Ethel. I spoke with her last week on the phone, and she sounds very good. She's back home. She's moving and grooving. And she did drop that off to me, and I just thought I'd give Alicia, something to read. But Ethel does plan to be back for the February meeting. So as far as the senior bus, it is in procurement from Wayne County. I email them and call them at least once a month. Where's the bus? Where's the bus? These things they could take up to 2 years, even 3 years when you have grant dollars and this van. It's the van. I believe Ms. Boyd put in for that during her term here. I am following up with it. I can't go get it because it's not ready. So paperwork, Wayne County, it's still in process. So that's the update with the bigger van that the township is supposed to receive.
Speaking on Ethel's behalf, Brandy, our past rec director, I should say, did tell us it was going to be delivered a year ago, December. So I know why people are asking questions. I get that there's a lot of paperwork and stuff like that. Alicia, now you want to do your student report and update?
Okay, so since I wasn't here for a December meeting, I figured I would do the main highlights between December 1st until now. December 1st started with the Island Glow, where marching band performed. There was a Secret Santa shop held at both elementary schools during the 3 weeks that we had school in December. Our third progress report came out. Our high school held our talent show. I think it was our third annual one this year. There was a snow day on December 14th, which caused our high school holiday band concert to have to be rescheduled due to the poor weather to December 18th. The middle school winter band concert was canceled as well, but it was rescheduled to December 19th. Our high school winter vocal concert was that night as well, December 19th. We had a half day on December 22nd, which led up to winter break December 23rd through January 8th. Our coming home dance will be held this Saturday, January 27th, and this week juniors received their SAT practice scores as well as completing the NWEA state testing. Our senior scholarship forms were picked up in the office between the beginning of January until now, and they are due next Monday, January 19th. This week is finals week. It began on Tuesday and will run till tomorrow, thankfully. And as far as this month goes, our new schedule will begin on Monday.
Thank you, but I have a question for you. What is, once and for all, what are the hours that the students need to accumulate? There's like community volunteer services.
For NHS? Okay, so that's a little bit different than it was my sophomore year when they started it. We have to do 15 hours individually, and then each student must complete an individual service project, which that could be something like, yeah, that would work if we ran a certain section of Island Fest for the weekend.
Run the parking lot to get those cars parked, but okay.
Yeah, that'd be a service project, and I think 2 people per service project will work.
Service project, but that it does not have anything to do with the 15 hours.
We need an additional 15 as well.
15.
But the 15 from that service project can count too.
Who runs that at the school?
There are 2 teachers, Mr. Badishil and Mrs. Bertino.
You know those names? I'm sorry. What were the names? Badishil?
Badishil and Bertino.
And also, I did drop off to the, not the schools, I have to go through central office, volunteer forms. I took those up on Monday, so.
Okay.
They should, hopefully they have gotten to the high school. Have you seen them?
I haven't seen them yet. I can ask tomorrow.
Okay.
I also think the teachers' emails are their last name. than their first initial.
Okay.
So Batishil N at GI Schools. And I don't know Miss Bertino's first name,
It's
but
to
I
the
can figure
point
that
where
out.
we're paying these kids to come volunteer for festival. As sad as that is, we're going to offer them like a $250 gas card to come help direct traffic. Now, what's wrong with this? You know, that there's the Builders Club and the 4-H Club and the I mean, I could go on and on and on. And there's some that help out, but yeah, we do. And we have a 4-H Club, right? Yeah.
I'm in Monroe. I'm not here.
Oh, all right. It's just, you know, so, all right, sorry. Venting there for a minute.
Usually once or twice a month in the morning we'll have
Are they like before noon?
Yeah, yes.
I take
Yeah,
the
they're
ones
early.
that are early.
Okay.
That's me.
Okay.
Thank you, Alicia.
Takes the ones after 12 o'clock.
I'll take the ones after 12 o'clock.
o'clock
Gives me up the
someplace.
morning ones. Okay. Ian's not here about the Playscape update. So Sunrise Park, I'm sure that Playscape's going to be. Got something to say about that? All right.
Yeah, update on, I'm remulching the safety mulch in the spring at Playscape. So that is going to look very nice and fresh. New mulch.
Both playscapes, right? One at Centennial Farm, right? You're doing both of them.
One behind the,
Post office.
The other one looks good?
we don't need it yet.
Okay.
Yep. So,
Anything about Sunrise Park or?
shared parking agreement, we're working on that, so.
Discussion items. He's not here, is he? Okay, do you have something you want to recommend, Kim?
Yes, we have 2 open seats on our commission. I know over the last couple of months, there's been talk about, do we go to 7? Are we staying at 9? What are we doing?
I recommend that we stay at 9. I know we talked about downsizing, but I'm going through with another commission. I just think,
Yeah.
but that's my opinion. Anybody else?
Township board, as far
Greg?
as I'm concerned.
It's really up to the charter. Unless we change the charter dictates how many people are here. Now, if we don't fill it, we don't fill it, but we should make an effort to fill it. So, I mean, yeah,
Right.
that's
So-
my only.
Yeah, so at this point, we do have 2 open seats. There are 2 vacant seats on our commission. I am just bringing forward, and people submit applications to me. Or actually, they come to the township hall, then Margie ships them over to me. So I look at them, I evaluate them. I've actually brought one forward, Tom Snyder. He's been doing some he does the I'm losing my train of thought now. The program Tuesdays and Thursdays. Pickleball. Thank you. And I've had several good conversations with him. I've actually interviewed him as well. There's a set of interview questions to become a commissioner, and I didn't interview any of you. So I am just bringing it to the commission for discussion. I would like to put him on the commission. So my question is, if you would like to interview Tom, I'm inviting you to do that. I want you to take a month and think about it. I would like to vote on this at the next meeting. So that is my recommendation to the CRC, to fill one of the 2 vacant slots with Tom Snyder.
Okay, I have a comment about that. I think, what's your view on maybe getting an interview committee together to, I mean, we can all have our input, but is an interview committee, I think we need to get all those forms that have been turned in downstairs, and we need to look at those and what positions they're looking for and what terms are going to expire and who's staying and who's not staying and et cetera, et cetera. I just, I don't know if an interview committee is the right word, but
That's what we used in the past, Chad, as an interview committee. And this is very irregular that the director would recommend someone for the commissions. The commission vets themselves. That's what I always.
I don't think Kim's recommending. She's just throwing it out. You know,
I'm kind of throwing it out.
Sure. Does recommendation.
Well, okay, but
Word, I'm maybe it's the wrong word, because I don't know the processes. How this is the first time it's come up. So I have his application. I would like you to take a look at it. If we do an interview committee, that's fine. I don't know what was done in the past on how this happened. So that's why I'm just bringing it to you. I would like to fill one of the seats with Tom Snyder.
do you want to tell us, Walt, how that was done in the past?
Well, People would volunteer on the commission who'd want to be part of the process. Whether it's 3 people, 5 people, how many people on this board wants to do it. Everyone would interview. Everybody has a chance to get interviewed. It's not just say, okay, let's interview Tom Snyder and see if he likes him. But what about your other applicants that you've had?
Okay.
Everyone has a say. The thing for recreation is you got from toddlers to seniors, and the big key thing is that you want to try to get someone representing those kind of areas. And special interest. We've had in the past people that wanted to get on the commission and just focus on one point of interest and not encompass all of rec.
Well, that's kind of how this looks like right now, that everybody's names, but, okay. So do we take these people that have submitted, do we invite them all to one meeting, or how do we?
You set up times, and you set up with your committee,
Like
whatever
what we
your
did.
subcommittee.
I to do that, or am I handing you the folder of applications?
Chair.
Well, I'm including those emails, so like.
Okay.
Who wants to be on the interviewing committee?
Because obviously someone might be a better secretary, or someone might be better at farms, or somebody might be better at marina, or whatever niche they might have. It might be a good place to place them, you know? So I know there's interest out there with different people that would like to be on this commission, but I don't want to get one bad apple that's going to come up and just try to.
Right, and if you're going to set up interviews and you notify the community again, hey, if you want to serve, put your application in. You never know what happens.
So y'all hear that? We've got a couple openings. I know there's going to be a flood of applications, so I'm so excited.
So my position as the recreation director has no say in who goes on the commission? Is that how I'm hearing it?
Yeah, you could.
Am I on that committee?
Yes, you could. Yes, absolutely. Have a voice too. You'd be working with us too.
Tim, I hate to say this, but there may actually be I could have got appointed to this commission incorrectly or improperly, whatever the right word is. I know in some other communities, the mayor or the township supervisor, whatever his title is, he appoints who he wants on the commission, and the commission has no say in it. I always refer back to the charter. Maybe we should check the charter and see how it's done. Just because we've interviewed people in the past might not be the right way. We may have been doing it wrong. So,
well, I agree with what you just said about us being a process. I can't imagine somebody appointing a whole commission on what.
I know several cities that
really.
They just appoint.
I'm not.
Yeah. No, I know you're not, Chad. But again,
I'm just looking at the charter for us. 2 township board members selected by the township board will serve as liaisons to the commission. The recreation director who served as a non-voting member and is an employee of the township, and it goes on with that, but I'm not seeing anything about.
So they pick the liaisons and stuff for us, but
Yeah, we would like to.
Again,
I would like it to stay the way it is, with the rec commission people looking at these people and voting upon it. And then once you guys vote on who you want, then it goes to the township board for approval. Now, there's
That's
no
what the charter
guarantee that it'll
says.
get approved at that level, but.
Bottom line, township board's going to approve anything anyway.
Right.
I mean, we can say
Right.
township board. But same thing like with the interview process for yourself, Kim. It wasn't just the township board or anything vetted on this level.
Right.
But we really didn't have a say so. It was just our feelings. Township board that made the final decision, which is fine, but I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, so basically what I would like to do is ask the commission, I would like to fill one of the 2 seats. I have about 5 applications in front of me. If we could get a committee together as soon as possible, and I'll work with Chad on that. Is anyone interested, just so I have an idea who wants to be on the interview? Everyone in? Okay, just so I have an idea who I'm reaching out to. Okay. Thank you so much.
Got a lot.
Shifty schedule.
Okay, thank you. Okay, extended public comment. Hello, sir. Please come up and state your name and address.
Point 8410 Hampton. Just quick comment on the discussion you just had. So I definitely try to give as much as I can to this community. I've been on the Planning Commission for many, many years, been on the Zoning Board for many, many years, pay a lot of money to GISA, pay a lot of money now for the football program, got senior, a sophomore, a fifth grader, a third grader, a second grader, one that's 2 years in the Marines. A courtesy call would be nice to know after you submit applications for boards like this. It sits collecting dust now for probably a year with you folks, and I think that's pretty embarrassing. I think the community deserves more, and that's, your call.
Thanks, Steve. I saw Steve's a year ago, but we will definitely pull that back out.
That's township.
Yeah, it is. But no, I know what he's saying. Anybody else? Will?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say this on camera. Mr. Fisher had the opportunity to rebuttal to a couple comments that I had made, and I'd like to answer those rebuttals. Number one, as I presented to you the different business cards from the different cities, and I had stated that face-to-face, we had talks and meetings with them, and where they did not pay. They did not pay community publishing. One in particular, I want to bring up to you as you do your fact-checking, is Mr. Dustin Lent, the city administrator of the city of Southgate. Mr. Lent, Dustin, when we went to him, we were presenting a city publication like Groseal Grand to Southgate. His quote to us, Cameron and I, was, "Will, beat free." How do you beat free? We do not pay for this. Take your Southgate Todays. You may look at them. You can look at the pages on the inside of that. That's what community publishing does for Southgate, said by Dustin Lent, city administrator, free. Will beat free. Said I can't beat free. The other thing that Mr. Fisher had said that I actually said, or he titled it as voodoo numbers. Well, hard numbers are hard numbers. I don't know what voodoo numbers, the terminology of that is, but they print 5,000. They do 4 times a year. That's 20,000. That's hard numbers. We do 9,000. 9,000 times 12 months a year is 108,000. 108,000 compared to the 20,000. I appreciate this opportunity for the rebuttal. Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Sandy? Please come up and state your name and address.
Sandra Bondar, 20594 Canal Drive. I know you're looking for a spot for the softball field or baseball field, and I've heard rumors that you're looking at Centennial Farm and taking one of the paddocks away. We have 2 main paddocks. I think that would be a disaster to put a softball field in that paddock when you first pull in. You would have balls flying into the other paddock. Now you're going to have children running through the paddocks trying to retrieve balls, or if a fly ball smacks a horse in the head. I think a lot of noise will be made there, which can spook riders who are on horses. So I don't know where the baseball field's going to end up, but I do not recommend Centennial Farms paddock.
Thank you.
Thank you. And again, we don't know yet either. So that's what we're working towards. So I appreciate your comment. Absolutely. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, Greg, commissioners, individual.
Nothing at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Dr. Elena, any final comment?
No.
Thank you. Mr. Ketcher?
Volunteer in your community.
What?
Volunteer in your
Volunteer
community.
Okay, thank you. Leah.
Nothing at this time.
Alicia? Mr. Nelson?
All set, thank you.
Ms. Kim? We're going to adjourn the meeting at 8:55. I want to thank everybody. Once again, check out GrosealIslandFest.com. Support your community. Thank you. Good night.